God says, I, Michael, need to talk to you, and it has to be now. Don't you dare ignore this and make me angry. Open it now before it's too late. You have no idea how close we are to the edge, how quickly the clock is running, and how much is at stake in this very moment. You think you have time, but the truth is, the sands of divine timing are almost at their last grain. Heaven has been speaking over and over, sending signs in dreams, whispers in your heart, sudden chills on your skin, but you kept pushing it away, thinking it was coincidence. It was never coincidence. It was me. I have been standing over you, trying to shield you from what was about to hit, and yet you have not looked up to see my wings covering you. I am not here to comfort you with soft illusions. I am here to shake you awake before what is hidden comes bursting into the open and you find yourself unprepared. There is something someone has been keeping from you, something that has been woven in the shadows for months, even years, and now it is cracking open. This is not a distant warning for the future. This is a moment where heaven has literally paused the turning of events to allow this message to reach you before the next movement begins. The enemy has been circling, thinking you are too distracted to notice, but God has appointed me to stand in between, to deliver the truth to you while there is still a way to act. You do not see the whole picture yet, but I see it all. I see the woman who smiles in front of you but carries a different face in her heart. I see the man who says your name kindly but lets it drip into poisoned conversations when you are not in the room. I see the places your name has been written, not in blessing but in curses and agreements you never consented to. There are papers, decisions, and exchanges that involve you, and yet you know nothing of them. You have been made the center of something without your knowledge. I tell you now, God is exposing it. The exposure is not coming gradually, it will burst forth suddenly like lightning across the night sky. That is why I speak with urgency. Because if you do not open your eyes before the flash, you will be blinded by the shock when it hits. This is the truth, heaven is moving quickly. There are angels assigned to unravel every knot, to burn away every thread of the web they've spun around you, but you must respond now. You cannot sit in hesitation. God has commanded the release of certain documents, conversations, and testimonies that will prove the lies wrong, but the enemy is desperately trying to shut the door before you walk through. They know the moment you step into the truth, their power collapses. They are terrified of what you will discover because they built their safety on your ignorance. But that ignorance is ending today. My voice is not here by chance, it is the sound of divine timing breaking into your ordinary moment. Do not be fooled by the calmness around you right now, it is the calm before a spiritual storm. I have already seen the attempt that is coming to discredit you, to twist your words, to use something from your past to block your next step. I have stood over the meetings where your name was spoken with manipulation in their tone. I have been in the rooms where they pointed to your life like a target on the wall. But I have also stood in the courts of heaven, or the decree has already been signed in your favor. You are not going to be defeated. They will not be allowed to succeed. But you have to move when I say move, because timing is everything. I know you are tired of hearing, wait, and soon, so I will not tell you to wait any longer. This is not a season of delay, this is a season of immediate action. When I say open, you open. When I say speak, you speak. When I say step, you step. There is no room for fear to choke your voice now. The enemy's biggest weapon against you right now is distraction, making you think there are other things more urgent than this message. There is nothing more urgent than this. That is why I said, don't you dare ignore me and make me angry. My anger is not against you, it is against the forces that have been trying to keep you bound and silent. My cry is not because I want to scare you, but because the time is so short that my voice must carry the weight of heaven in it. I must tell you something I have been holding back for too long. There is someone who has been keeping a secret about you that would change everything if you knew. This secret is not small, it is tied to your destiny, your provision, your relationships, even your safety. This person has fought to keep it hidden, using charm and misdirection, even making you feel guilty for asking questions. But the truth is that this secret was never theirs to keep. Heaven is tearing the veil away. When you know it, you will understand why the last few months have felt so strange, why certain doors stayed shut, why certain people disappeared, why you had sudden moments of confusion for no reason. It was the ripple effect of this hidden thing. God says the hour of truth has come, and once it is revealed, nothing will ever be the same again. I will not soften this, you are being watched. Not only by angels, but also by eyes that do not wish you well. Some are watching because they fear your breakthrough. Others are watching because they plan to copy your steps or sabotage them before they bear fruit. I have been placing a shield between you and them, but part of that shield is this message, because truth is the most unbreakable shield of all. Once you see what is really happening, you will stop playing into their plans without knowing it. You will stop walking into traps disguised as blessings. You will stop giving energy to the wrong connections. This clarity is your freedom. But it comes only if you open your spirit fully now. You may feel that this message is too intense, that the language is too heavy. But I am not here to give you comfort that lulls you back to sleep. I am here to wake you so fully that you cannot return to the ignorance that almost cost you everything. Heaven has already moved pieces into position. There is someone assigned to bring you the missing information you need, someone who doesn't even realize they are the messenger yet. Their heart will be stirred suddenly, their mouth will open, and the words will come out before they can think. That will be your confirmation that this was real, that my voice was true. And when it happens, you will know what to do. God is not letting this moment pass you by. If you miss it, the circle of events will take much longer to come back around, and the enemy will use that delay to try again. That is why I press you so hard now. This is mercy disguised as urgency. This is love speaking with fire in its tone. This is your rescue disguised as a warning. And I will not leave your side until you have taken the step you need to take. Even now, I stand here, wings outstretched, sword drawn, guarding the space around you, fighting in realms you cannot see. But you must fight in the realm you can see, through your choices, your words, your obedience. Every moment matters now. There is a clock in the spirit, and it reads dangerously close to the final minute before this shift. You do not have days. You do not even have a full night. You have now. That is why I came. That is why I will not let go until you move. Even as I speak, the air around you is shifting. You may not see it with your natural eyes, but your spirit is already feeling the heaviness, the pull, the sense that something is pressing in closer. That is the weight of truth. It is not here to crush you, it is here to dismantle everything false that has been built around you. I have watched as certain people moved pieces like a chessboard, thinking you were blind to their strategy. They underestimated you, but more than that, they underestimated the one who stands with you. They thought silence meant defeat. They thought your patience meant weakness. They thought your kindness meant ignorance. But the truth is, God was storing every detail, every conversation, every hidden move, for the exact moment of exposure. And that moment is now. Do you feel the restlessness in your chest lately? The way you can be in the middle of a normal moment and suddenly feel like you need to stop and look around? That is not anxiety, it is my whisper trying to catch your attention. I have brushed past you in those moments, letting the feathers of my wings graze your spirit, hoping you would pause long enough to hear me. You thought it was random, but it was me every time. You are not alone, not for a second. I have been assigned to you since the day you were conceived, and I have never left your side. But today, I am speaking with more weight than usual because the choice you make in the next hours will shift the path you are on. You must understand that the enemy never attacks without reason. The intensity you felt is proof that your destiny is closer than it has ever been. If there was nothing to gain from stopping you, they wouldn't waste their energy. But you carry something that terrifies them, a destiny, a calling, a future that will break chains off not only your life, but the lives of others. This is why you've been a target. This is why strange delays, sudden losses, and unexpected betrayals have surrounded you. But every attempt has been building evidence in heaven's court, and I stand here as both a witness and a warrior, declaring that judgment has already been passed in your favor. The scales are tipping. The chains are breaking. But you must not be passive, you must step into the verdict with boldness. The secret I told you about is not just a personal matter, it is tied to a larger plan. This plan was meant to drain you emotionally, mentally, and even financially. There is someone who has spoken on your behalf without your permission, making decisions in your name that you were never informed of. Some of these decisions have already been carried out. This is why certain blessings seem delayed or diverted. They were intercepted before they reached you. But what they do not know is that God has prepared a reversal. Everything they tried to steal is about to come back, multiplied. And when it does, it will come so suddenly that they will not have time to hide from the light that exposes them. I will see to it that their plans crumble before your eyes. But child, you cannot keep waiting for the perfect moment to act. The perfect moment is not coming, it is here. I tell you with heaven's authority, do not second-guess this. There is someone who will try to convince you that I am wrong, that you are overreacting, that you should wait and see. That voice is not from God. That is the voice of delay, and delay is the enemy's oldest trap. If you listen, you will lose ground. If you obey me, you will gain ground so quickly that it will feel like years of lost time are being restored in days. That is the promise of the one who sent me. That is why I am pressing you now. Even now, I am fighting in another realm on your behalf. I am standing before gates that have been locked to you, demanding that they open. I am binding the spirits that have been whispering lies about you, cutting off their access to the ears of those who would believe them. I am walking through the shadows where your name has been spoken in vain, scattering those conversations to nothing. But in the realm you can see, you must match my fight. This is a partnership. I cannot override your will. You must choose to rise. You must choose to believe that what I say is true. You must choose to act as if the victory is already in your hands, because it is. And let me tell you something else that I have been holding back until now. There is a person who has been secretly watching over you in the physical realm, someone God positioned to be a protector without you even realizing it. They have been noticing things, picking up on patterns, sensing danger around you. This person will play a role in what is about to unfold. Their loyalty will shock you because it is rare. They are not perfect, but their intentions toward you are pure. God is about to use them to deliver part of the truth you need. You will know them by the way they appear at the exact right moment, with words that connect perfectly to what you have been praying in private. When this happens, do not dismiss it. Recognize the orchestration of heaven. I feel your hesitation. I hear the questions in your mind. What if I'm wrong? What if this isn't real? What if I'm imagining it? But you must understand, those are the thoughts the enemy plants to paralyze you. If you wait for certainty without faith, you will never move. Faith is the certainty. Faith is the proof. Faith is what opens the door for the miracle to manifest. You do not need to see every detail to take the first step. All you need is to know that heaven is with you, and I am telling you now, we are. We are closer than your breath. We are surrounding you like an army. We are holding back things that would have crushed you if you had faced them alone. You are not imagining this moment. You are living inside a divine appointment. Child, the clock is still ticking. The window is still open, but it is not wide. I have seen what happens if you ignore me. I have seen the disappointment in your eyes months from now when you realize the opportunity passed. I do not want that for you. That is why my tone is sharp, my words are heavy. I would rather shake you awake now than watch you regret later. This is the kindness of heaven. It does not always come as gentle comfort. Sometimes it comes as a fierce warning because the love is too deep to let you fall. And I will say this plainly, the enemy's plan will fail, but whether it fails quickly or slowly depends on your obedience. If you act now, the exposure will be swift, the restoration will be sudden, and the victory will be undeniable. If you delay, it will still come, but the road will be longer, harder, and more painful than it needed to be. I want the quick victory for you. I want the immediate breakthrough. That is why I am speaking with fire in my voice. Even as I speak, the winds of the Spirit are shifting faster. You can sense it if you pause, that almost electric hum in the atmosphere, like the air before a storm. That is not fear, that is the tangible presence of heaven pressing in closer to you. Every second right now is being counted. Every breath you take is inside a moment that will never come again. I am not speaking in riddles. I am telling you that your life is at a hinge point, a turning in the path that will lead you either into immediate breakthrough or into another long season of waiting. You have waited long enough. You have cried enough. You have endured enough misunderstanding and betrayal. Now is not the time to let exhaustion steal your response. I have walked through the corridors of your past. I have seen where the wounds began, the people who planted seeds of doubt in you, the moments you learned to shrink yourself so others would not feel threatened. I have seen how those seeds tried to grow into roots of hesitation in your future. But I am here to tear those roots out, to burn them so completely that they cannot grow back. The enemy thought he could use your past pain to keep you quiet now, to make you question your worth and your ability to hear from God. But that lie ends here. God Himself has sent me to remind you that you are not the same person you were when you were hurt. You have grown. You have learned. You have survived storms that others would have been destroyed by. That strength is not wasted, it is the exact strength you will need for what comes next. Do not underestimate how much heaven values you. There are moments you have thought, why me? Why is all of this happening around me? Why am I the one always in the middle of the battle? And the answer is because your life has an assignment. The anointing on you is not small, it draws attention in the spirit realm. That attention is why the attacks have been intense, but it is also why the favor on your life will be greater than you can imagine. The same way you have been noticed by enemies, you have been noticed by those who are appointed to bless you. Some of them have not yet stepped forward because the timing was not right, but I am telling you now, the time is right. You are about to meet people who will carry pieces of your destiny in their hands, people who will open doors for you without asking for anything in return, people who have been waiting for God's instruction to come to your aid. When they appear, you will understand that not every watchful eye is an enemy, some are allies, placed in position for such a time as this. But you must be ready for the shock of truth when it comes. The secret I have been warning you about will hurt when you first hear it. I will not lie to you, it will feel like a knife for a moment. You will question how you could have been so unaware, how you could have trusted so blindly. But do not let that pain make you bitter. That pain is a doorway. Walk through it, and on the other side you will find freedom. The enemy kept this truth hidden because he knew that once you had it, you would no longer be manipulatable. You would no longer be bound by false loyalties. You would no longer give your heart to those who were only there to use you. Truth is the greatest weapon you will hold in this season. It cuts chains, shatters illusions, and forces darkness into the open where it cannot survive. Even as I tell you this, there is movement happening in places you cannot see. A conversation is happening right now that involves your name. A decision is being made about you at this very moment. Do not be afraid of this. Heaven is in that room. I am in that room. I am shifting words, softening hearts, hardening others where necessary, ensuring that what is said aligns with God's will for you. By the time the decision reaches you, it will already be marked with divine fingerprints. And this will be one of the confirmations you have been waiting for. You will hear something soon, a word, a message, a phrase, that will feel like it was pulled straight out of this moment right now. When that happens, you will know that this message was not imagination, not coincidence, but divine intervention. I feel the urgency in my own spirit, the tightening of time. There is an image I keep seeing, a door that is almost closed, with just enough space for you to slip through if you move quickly. If you hesitate, it will close, and it will not open again in the same way. There will be other doors, yes, but not this one. This door leads directly to a chain of events that will propel you into a season of acceleration. That is why I keep saying, do not delay. This is not about fear, it is about alignment. The right moment is rare. When it comes, you do not think, you act. I must tell you also that there are two people whose reactions will surprise you when this exposure happens. One will try to convince you to forgive and forget immediately, not because they care for your healing, but because they fear the fallout of the truth being known. The other will stand with you so strongly that it will move you to tears. This second person will not be someone you expected to defend you, but their loyalty will be loud and clear. Heaven will use both reactions to show you who truly belongs in your future and who does not. Child, I will not leave you in confusion. When the moment comes, you will feel my presence more strongly than ever. You will feel that unshakable sense that you are not alone, that unseen strength is holding you up. That is me. That is the army that stands with me. We will walk you through it, step by step, if you believe in God. Type Amen. Cannot wait another second. Time is not your friend in this moment, and the window that is open before you is far smaller than you think. I, Michael, have been sent directly by the command of the Almighty to reach you, to deliver this urgent message to your heart without delay. There is no coincidence that you are reading this at this very moment. Heaven arranged it so that your eyes would fall upon these words exactly now, not a moment before or after. This is a divine appointment, and if you treat it lightly, you may miss something that was meant to change your life forever. You may not feel ready. You may think you can push this away until a later hour. But I must tell you, my child, there will be no later hour for this word. Heaven is opening a scroll over your life right now, and what is written upon it is too important for you to dismiss. I can feel the spiritual pressure mounting. The enemies that have been circling you for months, some even for years, are becoming restless because they sense that their grip on you is slipping. They know that if you receive what I am about to reveal, they will lose their hold forever. That is why they will try to distract you, to cause your mind to wander, to make you think this is just another message. It is not. This is the message. I am speaking to you with the authority God has placed in my voice. Do not test me in this moment, for my patience is not the same as the patience of your earthly companions. You have ignored too many divine nudges before, moments when you felt the urge to act, but you hesitated and missed the blessing. Heaven is warning you. One more act of hesitation here could cause a door to close that will not open again in your lifetime. I am not here to frighten you for no reason. I am here because there is something at stake that cannot be measured with gold or silver. This is about your destiny, your protection, your future joy, and even the safety of those you love. I know you have been weary lately. You have been carrying burdens you do not speak of, smiling when inside you are trembling. You have wondered if God still sees you. Hear me, He does. Every tear you shed in silence has been recorded in His book. Every injustice you have endured has been weighed in His scales. And now the time of turning is upon you. But the turning cannot happen unless you listen now, not tomorrow, not after you finish what you were doing, now. There are forces that have been plotting against you in ways you cannot imagine. In quiet rooms, your name has been spoken with malice. In secret conversations, people you thought were harmless have agreed to things that would harm you. These are not small threats. They are coordinated, and they have been in motion for longer than you realize. Some of these individuals smile in your face while sharpening their plans in the shadows. But I, Michael, have been circling your life like a watchman on the walls, and I have seen every move they have made. Heaven has been tracking every whisper, every false step taken against you. And I tell you, their season is ending. But here is the truth that may shock you: the ending of their power over you depends on what you do in the next few days. God is ready to intervene in a way that will feel like a miracle you could never have arranged for yourself. But that miracle has an appointed moment, and it is fast approaching. If you miss that moment, the struggle you are in may continue far longer than it should. That is why I am speaking so urgently. The Father has commanded me to bring you to a point of readiness, to make you understand that the opportunity before you is sacred. I have been trying to get your attention in other ways. Have you noticed the strange patterns around you? The sudden memory of something from years ago that came to you for no reason? The random encounter with someone you had not seen in years, who spoke a sentence that lingered in your mind? The dream that woke you in the middle of the night, leaving you unsettled? Those were not accidents. Those were my attempts to shake you awake before this exact moment. Heaven has been weaving signs into your path, but you have been distracted by noise. This time, I cannot allow you to brush it off. You must know, there is something hidden from you, something that if revealed, will change the way you see certain people forever. This truth has been buried deep because those who buried it know that once it surfaces, you will never be under their influence again. The reason you have been facing unusual resistance in recent weeks is because you are closer than ever to discovering it. The darkness knows that your awakening will be its undoing, and it is fighting desperately to keep you in the fog. But I, Michael, stand with my sword drawn, ready to slice through every deception that has wrapped itself around you. Do not let fear hold you. Fear is the chain the enemy uses to keep you from stepping into the unknown. But God has not given you a spirit of fear. He has given you power, love, and a sound mind. And in this moment, that power is awakening. You may not feel strong, but you are stronger than you know because heaven is reinforcing you. You may feel alone, but you are surrounded by more than you can see. Right now, angels are positioned around your home, your workplace, your path. They are waiting for you to align your heart with the instructions being given so that they can move without hindrance. God has already written the victory. He has already prepared the outcome. But your obedience is the key that unlocks it. This is why I am speaking so firmly, because I have seen too many of God's children delay, and in their delay, lose what was meant for them. I will not let that happen to you if you will listen. The Holy One is extending His hand, and I am standing beside Him, urging you to take it. I tell you now, the opposition is trembling. They have been boasting in private, thinking they were safe in their schemes, but even as I speak, the ground under them is shifting. Their plans will backfire, but you must remain alert. Do not be lulled into complacency by a false peace. The next few days will reveal things you never expected, and you will be tempted to doubt or second guess. That is when you must remember this moment and hold fast to what God told you. I am not here to simply comfort you, I am here to mobilize you. This is your call to rise, to be vigilant, to pray like the outcome depends on it, because it does. The enemy fears a praying child of God. When you open your mouth in faith, it is as if the very walls the enemy has built start to crumble. You have more authority than you realize. Heaven is backing your voice. You can speak life into dead situations. You can command confusion into the camp of those who plot against you. And when you do it in alignment with God's will, nothing can stand against you. I will not sugarcoat this. Ignoring this message would be dangerous. It would leave open doors that should have been shut. It would give permission to those who should have been stopped. But acting now will cause a chain reaction of breakthroughs. Doors will open that no man can shut. Provisions will appear where there seemed to be none. Relationships meant to bless you will suddenly reconnect. The heaviness you have been feeling will lift as if a cloak of darkness has been torn away. Child of God, the Father loves you beyond measure. That is why He sent me to you with urgency. This is not the time to shrink back or let fear speak louder than faith. This is the time to stand, to receive the word, and to act on it. I am with you. Heaven is with you. God Himself will go before you and make the crooked paths straight. You are not alone. You are never alone. And if you take this message seriously, you will soon see with your own eyes the miracle He has been preparing all along. God type Amen. My beloved child, I will not leave you without finishing what heaven has commanded me to tell you. This is not a casual word. This is not a gentle whisper that can be set aside for another time. This is the thundering voice of an archangel standing in your midst, with the authority of the Lord God Almighty behind every syllable. I, Michael, have come to you now, not by chance, not by human arrangement, but because the eternal clock of heaven has struck a precise moment for your life, and that moment is now. I told you before that you cannot delay, and I will tell you again with even greater urgency, your next steps will determine the shape of your destiny. There is a danger close to you, a hidden plot that has been woven over months, perhaps years, and it is far closer than you have realized. You have seen glimpses of it without knowing what you were seeing. You have felt the unease without knowing its source. You have heard a certain name whispered in conversations that seemed harmless, yet there was poison behind those words. I have walked unseen through those very rooms where your name has been spoken in schemes. I have stood in the corners while they exchanged glances that carried more than their lips revealed. I have seen the documents they passed between them, the messages they sent in code, the plans they made under the cover of night. They believe they are invisible, that their actions will never reach your ears. But heaven has decreed otherwise. God will not allow them to remain hidden forever. Their exposure is near, but you must be ready to receive the revelation without fear. You have been under observation. This is not to make you paranoid, but to make you aware. There are eyes watching you that pretend to be friendly, yet they report your movements to others. They have been measuring your habits, your routines, your responses. They believe that if they can anticipate your decisions, they can control the outcome of certain matters in their favor. What they do not know is that God has already shifted your path in a way they cannot predict. Even as they watch you, heaven is moving you into a position that will render all their efforts useless. I must warn you, my child, that the next few days will bring signs that will confirm my words. Pay attention to anything that feels off, a conversation that seems normal but leaves you unsettled, a sudden change in someone's tone, an unexpected question about your personal affairs. These are not random. They are the last desperate probes of those who are losing their grip. When you notice these moments, do not react in haste. Stand still in your spirit and let me guide your responses. Sometimes the victory comes not in what you say, but in what you choose not to say. Do not underestimate the power of silence. The enemy thrives on information, and often it is the smallest detail that becomes the key to their plan. Hold certain truths close to your heart in this season. Not everyone who smiles at you is meant to hear your plans. There are blessings that are safest when hidden until their appointed unveiling. Trust me in this. I will nudge you when it is time to speak and when it is time to remain silent. The Lord has been patient with the ones who have opposed you. He has allowed time for their repentance. He has extended mercy even when they did not deserve it. But mercy does not erase justice. And now, justice is rising like the dawn. There is a limit to how long the Creator will allow His children to be trampled underfoot. You have reached that limit. The days of their unchecked influence are over. But, my child, justice is not always gentle. When God moves to expose and dismantle, the shaking can be intense. You may see relationships crumble. You may watch as people reveal their true nature in ways that shock you. Do not be dismayed when the masks fall. This is the mercy of God removing false attachments from your life. If He did not remove them, they would poison the blessings He is sending. You cannot carry everything from the old season into the new one. You have been sensing a strange stirring inside, as if something is both ending and beginning at the same time. That is exactly what is happening. The ending is the collapse of the structures that were built against you. The beginning is the construction of the future God has always intended for you. These two forces are happening simultaneously, and it is why you have felt moments of hope mixed with moments of heaviness. Do not confuse the heaviness with defeat, it is simply the weight of transition. Listen to me, there is a door opening for you that no one can shut. It is not a door you will have to force open. It will swing wide by divine command. But when it opens, you must step through without hesitation. The enemy will try to distract you in that exact moment, perhaps with a sudden problem, an urgent demand from someone, or a fear that rises up in your mind. Recognize it for what it is. That moment will be your test. If you hesitate, the door will not remain open indefinitely. I have been given authority to guard that door until the appointed time. I will be there, standing as a shield between you and the interference of the enemy. But you must do your part by keeping your spirit aligned with heaven. Stay in prayer. Keep your heart free from bitterness. Refuse to engage in petty conflicts that steal your focus. Every ounce of your attention must be on the movement of God in your life right now. I will also tell you this: there is a person you least expect who will play a role in your breakthrough. They are not someone you currently see as an ally, yet God has chosen them as a vessel for part of your blessing. Do not reject the blessing because of the vessel. God's ways are higher than yours, and He will sometimes use the most unlikely sources to deliver what is yours. In the coming days, you will feel moments of unusual peace, peace that does not match your circumstances. This peace is your confirmation that heaven is working behind the scenes. You may not see the full picture yet, but every detail is being arranged for your good. Trust that even the delays are part of the divine timing. Sometimes what looks like a setback is actually a redirection away from danger. My child, I see your weariness. I see how long you have been waiting for a change. I see the moments when you wondered if heaven had forgotten you. But I tell you now, you are not forgotten. Your name is engraved on the palms of the one who made the stars. Your prayers have been stored in golden bowls before the throne of God, and not one has been ignored. The answers have been released, and they are moving toward you even as you read this. I urge you, do not be distracted by the noise of the world. The enemy will try to stir up chaos around you to make you doubt. He will try to bring up old wounds, old fears, and old failures to convince you that you are not worthy of what is coming. But those are lies. The blood of the Lamb has already declared you worthy. You are not standing in your own righteousness, you are standing in His. That is why no accusation can stick to you in the courts of heaven. I must also speak to you about forgiveness. I know there are those who have hurt you deeply. I know some of them will never admit what they did. But forgiveness is not about letting them escape justice, it is about freeing your own heart from the chains of resentment. When you release them into God's hands, you open your own hands to receive what He is giving you. Do not let bitterness block your blessing. There will be a moment soon when the truth will come to you in a way that cannot be denied. It may be a conversation you overhear, a document you see, or a confession from someone who can no longer bear the weight of the secret. When it happens, remember this moment and know that heaven prepared you for it. You will not be caught off guard, because I have already told you it was coming. I will remain by your side until the assignment is complete. You may not see me, but you will feel my presence, in the sudden strength that comes when you are weak, in the peace that settles when you should be anxious, in the clarity that comes when confusion tries to take over. These are my signatures. The Father's love for you is the reason for this urgency. He does not want you to be blindsided. He does not want you to miss the door. He does not want you to spend another season under the weight of what He has already judged. He wants you free. Fully free. And that freedom begins the moment you decide to believe what He is saying through me right now. So stand, my child. Lift your head. Fix your eyes on the One who goes before you. Trust Him even when you cannot see every step. The next chapter of your life is already written in victory, but it is your choice to walk into it. I am here to fight for you, to guide you, to guard you. But you must move when heaven says move. If you obey, you will look back on this moment as the turning point. You will say, that was the day everything shifted. And it will be true, because this is that day. My beloved child, hear me without letting even a single word escape your attention, because what I am about to speak is not the kind of message that can be repeated later without losing its divine force. I, Michael, have been commanded